Hello, everyone. My name is Emmy, and welcome back to Paranormasight. We were forced to suspend Harue's storyline, so we are back at the story chart where we are currently deciding on the next path to take. Anyways, thank you for coming by, and I hope you enjoy the video. Tetsuo Tsutsumi, Chief Inspector of the Metropolitan Police Department, 1st Investigative Division, is investigating the mysterious death of a fellow officer. He visits the scene of the incident, the former Yasuda Gardens, with his subordinate Jun Eryo. Alright, let's try this. We're at the former Yasuda Gardens. Hey boss, forensics is all done. The crime scene is clean. The other officers have all gone home. It's just us now. Park should be able to open back up tomorrow, like nothing ever happened.
I doubt it'll get many visitors after everything that's happened.
You'd be surprised. Lots of people love that kind of thing. I bet they'll be lining up to get in. Occult stuff is really popular right now. Did you know that, boss?
Sounds stupid.
Well, it's not exactly rooted in science, but if ghosts really did exist, we could just ask them who the perp is.
Somehow, I doubt it'd be that simple.
Oh, but you know, I've heard that high school girls are really into the spirit board thing these days. Supposedly, you can call on spirits and talk to them by using a board with letters on it. Wouldn't that be something?
You can try it out yourself, if you're so interested.
Hey, that's not a bad idea. Let's give it a go sometime, boss.
Pikachu.
What now? Stop messing around. You really think we're gonna solve this case by moving a coin across a scrap of paper?
Sounds like you know all about it. We've got to be open-minded. What if that's how police work is going to be from now on?
Don't make me laugh.
Spirit board. Due to the occult craze, divination has become popular among young boys and girls. All one needs is a coin and a piece of paper with letters and numbers written on it. Using these, all one has to do is ask questions of the called upon spirit and it will move the coin and answer. Sounds like a Ouija board. It is believed to be a tool that was adopted from Western spiritualism and molded by Japanese occult enthusiasts. Though it isn't considered a form of divination, the ritualistic nature of its usage can cause self-hypnosis or autosuggestion, leading to hallucinations or symptoms similar to spirit possession. Many schools banned these spirit boards after there were several cases of students sneaking into schools at night, in addition to stories of people having seizures when using the boards. This is her normal voice.
Listen up, Ario. You can't go blaming the death of your buddy on something like the occult.
His face. I don't care if it was ghosts or the occult or what. Whoever or whatever it was that did this, I'll get them. I promise you that.
Well, you've got the right attitude. We don't even know if this is a murder yet.
He's so cool.
Biases weaken our judgment. Get too fixated on one thing and you stop seeing everything else.
Hey, boss. So, now that we've finished investigating the scene, let's review what we know.
Now? It's getting late. I figured we'd head straight home from here.
Come on! We've got to go over all the info we've gathered. And what better place to do that than here, at the scene of the crime, where we can soak up the atmosphere?
Soak up the atmosphere? The hell is there to soak up? You must be really into this occult stuff, if you get off on being in a place like this.
Wait, you mean being somewhere like this doesn't get your blood pumping? No way.
No. Don't turn this around on me. I'm not the weird one here. Cripes. Fine. Let's get this over with.
Aye aye, boss. Alright, let's look at the scene. I guess. This is where the victim was found. It's clean now. It almost feels like nothing happened here at all. But once an incident like this has come to pass, there's no going back. Not that. Knowing that is any consolation. Surroundings. The former Yasuda Gardens here in Yokoami, Ichiome, were originally built as part of a daimyo's estate back in the Edo period. Daimyo? I assume that's like a king or something? The park became city property a number of years ago and underwent extensive renovations. There's not a soul around at this time of night. Quiet doesn't even begin to describe it. Do I want to look around? You know, I'm panning really slow because last time I did this, I jump scared myself. So I gotta be very slow at this. This pond, they say it used to flow into the Sumida River, but the river became so polluted that they cut it off. Alright. It's safe, it's safe, it's safe, it's safe. Jun Erio. Wait, I'm talking from the man's the deep voice.
Jun Erio, a detective in the Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department, 1st Investigative Division. His rank is Sergeant. This is his first time leading a case. It's like he's graduated from rookie to newbie. He looks put together on the outside, but acts like a kid most of the time. Honestly, the force could use more people like him.
Ooh, I guess he's really a go-getter.
I've got a bad feeling about this case, and my gut is rarely wrong. I knew this would be a treacherous case from the moment we were dragged into it.
Yikes. Alright, let's ask him about the case first. So, early in the morning yesterday, a staff member found the victim collapsed here in the park and called the police when they realized he was dead. While there were no obvious external wounds, the fact that he was a police officer and the evidence of a struggle means it's likely that this was a murder. The Sumida office sent it over to us since it involved the death of an officer and we were tasked with the investigation. What we need to do is figure out what happened and whether this was foul play involved. I think that about sums things up. Alright, let's ask him about the case still because there's no check mark. As I said last time, if you finish asking what they want you to ask, there'll be a little check mark. So let's finish the case here. But boss.
Yes?
Is this case really important enough to assign to someone from the investigation division? I mean, a friend of mine died, so it's important to me, but...
It's all up to higher-ups. I'm sure they've got their reasons.
Boss, you know something, don't you?
It'll all become clear in time. Try not to worry about it too much.
Thinking about it, the only thing we know for sure is the identity of the victim. That means there must have been something special about him, right? Maybe he knew something he wasn't supposed to. Some kind of secret or something. Isn't that right?
You're pretty sharp sometimes, you know that? If you've picked up on that, you should be able to put the rest together yourself.
Talk to him some more. More about the case. Well, it is our duty to get to the bottom of suspicious death, especially when involving an officer. Alright, now about the victim. The victim is Hajime Yoshimi of the Juvenile Division of the Sumida City Community Safety Bureau, 27 years old, single. He mostly dealt with cases involving juveniles and education. His rank was senior police officer.
You knew him well, didn't ya? What was he like?
Yes, we were in the academy together. We still went out for drinks together every month or two. That man looks like a Giga Chad. That jawline's so strong. He could be a little rowdy, but he was like a big brother to us all. He was kind and cared about his friends. For better or worse, he wasn't the uptight type of cop. The man always showed empathy, and I heard he was popular with the locals for it. He treated each and every troubled kid he met with compassion. He had a great track record when it came to rehabilitation.
Sounds like we lost a good one.
Yes, we did. We truly did. I knew being a cop was dangerous. I knew something like this could happen, but
It's never easy when it happens for real. I know the feeling.
he didn't seem to care much about climbing the ranks, but he was at the top of our class. Only problem was that he took on so much. He had the most unfinished paperwork too. I always felt we'd need an unusual guy like him to help us solve all our unusual cases. Persons of interest updated. Let's take a look-see here. Hajime Yoshimi, male, community safety officer. He's not known to have any curse echoes, so let's read his little profile here. Hajime was a police officer with the Sumida City Community Safety Bureau and was primarily responsible for juvenile and education cases. He held the rank of head patrol officer and entered the force at the same time as Jun Eryo. Hajime was found dead under mysterious circumstances at the former Yasuda Gardens early in the morning yesterday. Once a rebellious gang member himself, like I couldn't tell with that hair, Yoshimi turned his life around and used his own experiences to connect with troubled youth as a police officer. While his appearance and demeanor suggested a man who was rough around the edges, he was a passionate, loyal, and caring man at heart, looked up to as a big brother by his peers. And Yoshimi achieved stellar results in his work with juvenile cases. But his consistently sloppy paperwork and less than formal attitude essentially doomed his career and had him writing formal apologies on the regular. He left behind a fiancée whom he had been dating since high school.
Don't worry, you're plenty unusual yourself.
Me? I was the most normal of my classmates. Besides, the real weirdo among us quit the academy a long time ago.
There was even one weirder than you?
About the victim. Hajime was quite the bad boy in school, apparently. He ended up with the police a lot. He said the officer in charge was good to him, helped him get back on track. The reason he wanted to become a cop was to pay his kindness forward. Said it was the first time he ever took his studies seriously.
That's a good story. Love that kind of thing. Makes me want to have a drink in his honor.
Please, don't make fun of my dead friend.
Hey, I said in his honor. You should aspire to become the kind of cop people miss when they die in the field.
You say that like it's a sure thing I'll die. Besides, if I end up biting it, I'm sure you'll be the one who misses me most, boss.
Eh?
Come on, don't be like that. You'll hurt morale.
Well, I guess how much I'll miss you depends on how this investigation goes.
I can already see it. Eryo! No! Why'd you have to go and get yourself killed?
I have no idea what's going on in that head of yours.
Yeah, that'll be a sight to see. I can't wait.
You can't wait for your own death? Get it together, kid. Sheesh, you really are something.
Thank you. Ooh, more about the victim.
What about the victim's family?
The Yoshimi family is from Kita Senju in Adachi City, but Hajime's parents died a long time ago. He lived there all alone, no siblings or anything. I went to his house a few times for drinks. I was surprised. It's this huge, old-looking place. Like, you know, the kind of place that seems super haunted.
And he lived there alone?
It looked like the home of an old noble family. It was hard to imagine him being such a delinquent living in a house like that.
There's that bias I was talking about. If he's from an old family, I'm sure things were complicated.
That's a bias, too. He never talked about any of that, even when we were drunk, so I don't know much about it. One more thing.
Yes?
Hajime was engaged. He'd been seeing his fiancée ever since they were in school. Over 10 years. They just started talking about getting married. What was her name again? He showed me a picture once. She was a beautiful woman.
That's so? How terrible for her. But she may know if there'd been anything going on with him lately. We should speak to her.
Yeah, his fiancée may have been his only confidant. I'm sure someone at the Sumida Police Department has already contacted her. I'll look into it tomorrow. Alright. More about the victim? There's a lot of information here. Hey boss. I looked into the case that Hajime was running.
Oh, great. That's the kind of stuff I want to know. What was Hajime working on the day he died?
Well, according to his report from the day before, he had 2 cases involving juveniles.
Uh-huh.
The first was the suicide of a high school girl who jumped off a building in Kamizawa last week. So all their stories are connected, it seems.
Yeah. I did hear about that.
Ooh. The girl's name was Michio Shiraishi. She was a second-year student at Komagata High School. But it seems as though Hajime had contact with her even before this incident.
So she'd been troubled for some time?
That's the thing. About a month ago, he happened to see her walking around town. She looked upset, so he struck up a conversation with her. He was sure there was something bothering her, but she wouldn't tell him what.
Must have been trouble at home.
That's what he thought too. It seems he visited her home and spoke to her parents. But they said there was no problem, so there was nothing else he could do. And now she's dead.
Then it's possible he could have prevented her suicide then.
He must have been devastated. That's why he was looking into this Michio Shiraishi again. He must have thought that something terrible had happened that drove her to end her life. But ultimately, he never reported the findings of his investigation.
I see. And you're thinking that it may have had something to do with his death? We'll have to find out what it is Hajime discovered.
Right. Let's check with the Sumida Police Department about that tomorrow, too. It's rough out here. There's a lot still. I still have to ask about the victim. So let's keep going.
And what was the other case he was working?
This one, it's also related to the Komagata High student. A troublemaker named Hitomi Okuda. She seems to be the leader of a group of kids who get up to no good.
Juvenile delinquency. Fun.
She was pretty bad for a while. Multiple charges of destruction of property, assault and battery, you name it. Hajime had been working with her for about 6 months, and she's finally starting out to open up. Then, he met with the girl the day he died. Oh?
Well, every school's got its problems. But I'm sure he'd be worried about how she'd get on without him.
Right. Just when she'd finally found an adult she could trust. She might act out without someone to help her get through this.
Well, have to make sure the Sumida Community Safety Bureau does their job. But we can't rule out the possibility that meeting with this delinquent girl had something to do with his death. Then we'll have to interview her, too.
Ah, yes, you're right. Why is his lips like this?
She may have been the last person to see him alive after all.
I'll ask Sumida to introduce us tomorrow. Though, who knows if they'll actually let us talk with her.
That's what we hired you for. Lay a little boyish charm on them if they need convincing.
Look at that! Ah!
But, yeah. I'm sure they prefer me over a scary-looking man like you, boss.
The man just wants to make out. Why are you making kissy faces at the old dude? I don't know. He's gonna kiss a homie. He just wants to kiss a homie. Nothing wrong with that.
Watch it. I'm still your superior. You ought to act like you respect me at least.
Oh, I thought I was. With them kissy lips.
You were? Shit, is that just how your generation speaks? You really are a new breed.
Eh? It's probably just me, actually.
Ah, well, don't think you can get away with that with other people.
So anyways, boss.
Were you even listening?
We've got quite a bit to look into tomorrow. First, the two Komagata high school cases that Hajime was handling, and we need to speak with his fiancée as well. I believe that's it for tomorrow. About the cause of death. The kissy lips again. As for the cause of death, we don't know until the autopsy is done. From what we've seen, though, it appeared to be some kind of acute heart failure. But since he had no record of chronic illness and had no visible wounds, it's possible that poison or drugs could have been involved.
Dying in the middle of a park like that? It certainly seems suspicious.
We found signs of a struggle at the scene, as well as footprints belonging to an unidentified individual. We've got people trying to identify those prints.
If we can find who they belong to, we might be able to figure this whole thing out.
Yes, wouldn't that be nice if that were the end of it? The only things Hajime had on him were his badge and his wallet in his pockets.
So we can rule out a mugging? Though there probably aren't many people who'd think to try mugging a cop as big as him. Or who think to try mugging a cop as big as him.
I've also heard that Hajime got into a fair few fights in his younger days. He started judo once he became an officer and rose up the ranks quickly.
Sounds like the perp would have to have been pretty strong to take on Hajime.
Alright. More about the cause of death. Time of death was around 11 p.m. 2 days ago. Outside of the park's operating hours, of course. His body was found early in the morning yesterday.
11 p.m. the day before yesterday? That was what was Hajime doing out here at that time in the first place?
That's the question, isn't it?
The entrance to the park is closed after hours, but it's a small gate that'd be fairly easy for him to get through, if he really wanted to.
That would of course be breaking and entering, but what do you think, boss? Did he come here to hide something? Someone must have called him here because there's another set of footprints, so let's just think logically.
It's hard to imagine a cop like Hajime would trespass for no reason. And since it seems like someone else was here with him, could they have called him?
Oh, that does seem likely.
They must have been talking about something pretty sensitive to come here in the middle of the night. So Hajime met someone here to discuss something in secret.
Then they got into a fight?
No, that wouldn't match the cause of death. There were no wounds on the body that would indicate a spontaneous scuffle. The perp must have planned something.
Then you think it was meditated? That would mean they called Hajime to the park with the intent to kill him?
Well, there is still the possibility that it was just some kind of accident. Maybe the perp tried to threaten Hajime and things went south from there. We should be able to get a clearer picture once we know exactly what killed him.
Alright. Alright, about Tsutsumi. That's me. But either way, I'm so glad you're back in the first division, boss. I've always admired your work. You were like a god to me. You were the whole reason I became a detective in the first place. Aw, shucks.
Oh, yeah, about that. People have been saying that ever since you first entered the academy. People have been saying that ever since you first entered the academy, but
Yeah, that's because it's true. I couldn't believe you got transferred out of the first, just as I was assigned to it. I'm trying to swerve this man. So getting to work a case like this now, just the two of us, is a dream come true.
happy as I am to hear that, well, how should I put it?
What is it?
If that's true, I'm not sure you've been showing me the appropriate amount of respect.
Huh? But I do respect you. Don't tell me you're going senile, boss.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. When you run your mouth like that.
It's getting late. Must be sleepy. Don't worry, boss. I'll make sure we get out of here soon.
Yeah, I get it.
More about me? I've been wowed by your shrewd detecting abilities all day today.
Oh, really? Funny. I've been wowed by you too.
Hey, there's some chemistry going on. On the topic of family, what's yours like, boss?
The hell is wrong with you? Prying into my personal life all of a sudden?
It's just, I've never heard you talk about them or anything. Oh, are you single? 'Cause I'm here to smash.
Shut it. That's none of your business.
Well, ever since I joined the force, I've been thinking. Department really pressures young officers to get married. I wonder why that is. You don't say anything like that, though.
How should I know? I caved to the pressure myself and got married 20-some years ago.
Huh? So then?
God, you're relentless. She took our daughter and left 4 years ago. Thanks for reminding me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I can't believe she'd give up on a guy like you.
I was never home much. Too focused on work. I'd come home late only to get called right back out again. Plus, being a cop is dangerous work. I don't blame her for getting fed up with it all.
How sad. Especially when you're out here putting your life on the line. Oh, is that why you transferred out of the first?
It was already too late by then. You better be careful, Ario.
You say that, but there's not much I can do, is there? That's the nature of our job. There aren't many who can really understand it. Not unless they're involved with police work themselves or related to someone who is. But wait, you have a daughter, boss.
You really think I want to talk about her after all that? Have some sense.
Come on, I promise I don't mean this the way it sounds. But how old is she?
Jeez, you don't know when to quit, do you? At least try not to look so intrigued. She's a bit rough around the edges.
This man called her ugly. Her own father.
I think most men are intimidated by her. Last I heard, she's living by herself and going to college.
Wow, a college student? Men love an educated lady.
Stop that. What kind of cop are you making baseless assumptions like that?
She's living on her own, though, huh? You must worry about her.
Worry? I don't even know where she lives.
Oh, so she hasn't told you. Probably because she knows you'd follow her around everywhere.
I would not. I would not. I don't think.
Come on now. We both know that's not true.
Hey, listen here.
You may not. You may look like a mean old man, but you sure have a soft side.
What? Is that supposed to be a compliment? I can't keep up with you. We're done talking about this.
Oh, that reminds me. If you got married 20 years ago, it must have been right around the Najima murder.
You know your history. Yeah, that happened a year or two after our wedding.
You were the one who arrested the killer, weren't you? We studied that case at the academy. I was only in elementary school at the time, but I still remember people talking about some dangerous criminal getting arrested.
All that was just cracking the case, finding the guy. It was all just happenstance. I'd really rather not think about it. It was a disturbing case. Did it not make your skin crawl when you learned about it at the academy?
It did. We were all terrified.
Sounds about right. No one could believe that such a mild-mannered man could have committed such a terrible murder. If we had overlooked one little thing, we may never have caught him at all.
I think I remember hearing there was only one charge brought against him in the end.
That's right. We didn't have the evidence. I knew there was no way such a meticulously planned crime could have been there first, but we may have stuck Fumichika Nijima in a cell, but it was no victory. He always had the upper hand. And all the damage he did to everyone involved, especially the victim's classmates. It's already been 20 years. Huh. God damn it. This is why I try not to think about it.
I'm sorry. The last one about the occult. So, all this occult stuff. Have you heard about it, Bosch?
What are you talking about?
This rite of resurrection thing that everyone's talking about.
No. Not you too. I've been hearing about that shit everywhere.
Oh, you have? That's surprising.
Who cares what people are talking about? It's got nothing to do with our job.
Don't you think the occult stuff with this case feels, I don't know, realer somehow? The whole thing started right here in Hanzhou and Sumida City. So I thought that maybe...
Cut it out. Nothing good can come of getting involved with the rite of whatever or that record of fates.
Sounds like you know all about that. Boss, are you secretly into the occult?
Stop that. Seriously, this isn't a joke. I get why you'd be intrigued by something called the Rite of Resurrection after a buddy of yours died, but bringing the dead back to life, that's the stuff of fantasy. It's not real. So don't go hoping for miracles. Got it?
Well, boss, I think that about does it.
Right. Let's call it for tonight. I'll see you tomorrow.
Ah! Oh, fuck! I did not expect that!
Oh God. What is that?
Huh? Gosh, what's wrong? Don't tell me you're going senile.
Damn it. It was that case all along.
Boss, what is it? Is there something over there?
Gah!
Such deep sorrow. Oh fuck, I can't read that fast. I can't read that fast. Chase who deceives. Kill them. Chase who deceives. With falsehoods and hung up forever in eternal dark. What did this man say? Hold on, let me see. Such deep sorrow. A resentful memory is flowing into my mind. Kill them. Kill them! Those who spread lies. Kill them all. I've acquired the power of the cursed stone, the evergreen beech. The evergreen peach. The enduring superstition. Once upon a time in North Okurabashi, a beautiful beech tree stood in the garden of Lord Shinden's residence, now known as the former Yasuda Gardens. It was so impressive that the house became known among the people as the beech residence. Somehow, no one had ever seen a single leaf fall from the tree. As rumors spread of the eternally green tree, it became known as the evergreen beech. However, this particular species of tree was actually an evergreen, so the lack of fallen leaves was nothing out of the ordinary. This has led people to say that the strangest part of this legend is the fact that it even became a legend at all. This curse, though, kills by hanging one who tries to mislead the curse bearer with false statements. This is kind of cool. So it just kills people that lie. How is that a curse? You're just weeding out the liars in this world. That's a good curse. It's a benefit. A resentful memory. He deceived us with his so-called rite of resurrection. The man who tricked the people with his false dark art swings from a rope. They thought the man had escaped the previous night, but oddly enough, he was found hanging in the garden of the daimyo's mansion that morning. The man, a local named Jinkichi, was known for his kind temperament and skill in crafting netsuke glass. While his life wasn't always easy, he was optimistic, the type to smile through whatever life threw at him. He was the kind of man who would take care of those who didn't have anyone else to rely on. The prosperity that the ukiyo-e boom brought must have been what fanned the flames of his greed. The old craftsman was found in the miserable state as if sentenced to some cruel fate. Perhaps he'd ended his own life unable to bear the weight of his crime, but dead men tell no tales, and the people thought of him as a bad man even in death. He hung there for days till his neck stretched horrifically. A visage of pain still etched on his face. It was clear he must have struggled greatly as he died, his flesh marked with dark scars where the rope wrapped around his whole body. The beech tree's leaves do not fall, and neither did the man's body hanging from it. As the mansion's owner was not at home, another unfortunate event. The people held their tongues, fearing divine punishment, but the rumors persisted nonetheless.
A murderous impulse seeps into my soul, like thick black tar.
Time to kill. Now. Kill. Can you hear it, curse bearer? You who so strongly desires the right. Kill them. Why do I want it though? Why would the cop want it? Boss. Boss. Boss, what's the matter? Don't tell me you really went she now.
Sorry. I'm fine. Ario,
Yes?
I have some bad news.
Oh no. Your senility is kicking in, isn't it?
No, we've got a bit of trouble on our hands. Looks like we'll be working some overtime. We're not going home tonight.
Huh? What are you talking about? Oh, I don't. Okay, nothing. We continue on. Nothing. The hunt for the curse bearers. Tsutsumi and Jun are sorting through the facts at the scene of Officer Hajime Yoshimi's mysterious death. Tsutsumi denies the existence of the rite of resurrection until the cursed echo of the evergreen beech appears before them. Why did I just get it though? 12 a.m. Tetsuo Tsutsumi. Former Yasuda Gardens. Okay, so let me get this straight, boss. The rite of resurrection really exists? And to use it, you have to kill people using the power of curses from the 7 mysteries of Hanjo. And the curse you have is from the story of the evergreen beech that's told in this area? Is that right?
Yeah. Pretty much. You're quick on the uptake.
You weren't your usual silly self when you were explaining, so I knew you were telling the truth.
I'm never silly.
The only thing I have trouble believing is that you're taking this occult stuff seriously now. I mean, talk about paranormal. I thought you didn't believe in any of that.
It's not that I don't believe in it. My familiarity with it is why I've tried not to get too close.
Are you just being a sore loser? Not used to admitting you were wrong?
Oh, shut up and listen to me. No point in trying to hide things anymore. We won't get anywhere if you don't understand this, so listen up. Please listen.
You don't have to keep saying it. I'm listening.
We don't have time to waste. We'll talk as we walk.
Hey, wait for me, boss. I'm scared. Never mind. We're fine. We gotta go to Rio Goku Bridge down here. See that guy's there with the feet? Sorry, I just wanted to double check one thing. You're telling the truth, right? This isn't a side effect of your senility?
It's the truth. Not like I can prove it though.
Let's look at him one more time.
He's not stupid, but he sure can be slow sometimes. Though I think that positivity of his may come in handy at some point.
Let's think.
Revealing the existence of a secret department is against the rules, even to a fellow cop. But this is an emergency. I need his help. I'll tell him.
Oh, I'm part of a secret organization?
I'm sure you already know this, but this is all top secret. No sharing it with anyone.
Right. You can trust me not to. But no, I just can't believe it. I heard rumors that you used to be a member of a secret division attached to the Secretary Bureau. I can't believe we actually have a department called Paranormal Affairs.
Yeah, I'm sure it comes as a shock. I couldn't believe it myself. I thought the higher-ups were messing with me. Really had me worried for a while there.
No, this is incredible. That's the whole reason I became a cop. I was always fascinated by secret agencies and stuff.
You serious?
But thinking about it, it totally makes sense. Curses and spirits really do exist. And of course we'd need a special department to protect citizens from them.
You seem a bit too eager to believe all this. And hang on, I thought you joined up because of me.
Oh, come on, boss. Do you only have one favorite food? He can like more than one thing.
Yeah, whatever. In any case, the official stance is that the supernatural doesn't exist, so Paranormal Affairs operates in secret. Still not sure why they stuck me here. Those 4 years, I worked nothing but cases involving the supernatural.
Damn, he's seen some shit. Ooh. Should I read this? I'll read this one. This seems interesting. Although officially called the Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department, Security Division, Special Security Unit, Paranormal Affairs Bureau, it is more commonly referred to simply as Paranormal Affairs. Only a handful of people know of its existence, even within the police force. As the name suggests, it specializes in the investigation and resolution of cases involving paranormal phenomena. Since the existence of paranormal phenomena is not public knowledge, nor is it readily believed by the general population, the Bureau's activities are conducted in the utmost secrecy. Currently, there are only 5 members, including the chief. The Bureau has a network of psychic contacts across the country who assist with their cases, including Mio Kurosuzu. The Bureau undertakes investigations into any suspicious stories that cross their desk, though the vast majority turn out to be hoaxes. Due to the sheer volume of cases, closed-lipped, experienced detectives without paranormal abilities of their own, such as Tetsuo Tsuzumi, are sometimes assigned to investigate. The current chief of paranormal affairs is a man named Kuiru Nakagoshi. He was born to a family of psychics who have been involved in keeping the world safe from paranormal phenomena for generations, and has served as Mio Kurosuzu's mentor since discovering her. Kuiru is an elusive figure. Very few have met him in person, and he is rarely seen in the office. It's said that this is because he has often been the target of curses. However, some theorize that it is in fact because Kuiru, it's a hard name, Kuiru is not actually of flesh and blood at all. His seat in his office is usually occupied by a Nui, a legendary creature found in Japanese folklore. The Nui represents an ordinary white thrush and acts as Kiryu's messenger, leading to bizarre scenes of police officers earnestly reporting their findings to a bird. The term Nakagoshi case serves as a code name used to refer to cases under investigation by Paranormal Affairs. Tetsuo Tsutsumi, the gruff police detective that Shogo Okie met at Midoricho Park. Tetsuo is a veteran detective with the Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department, 1st Investigative Division. He was possessed by the evergreen beech curse echo while investigating the former Yasuda Gardens, previously a member of the secret Paranormal Affairs Bureau within the Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department Security Division. He makes use of this experience to investigate the ongoing large-scale curse incident with his partner Jun Eryo. Rather than sitting behind a desk, Chief Inspector Tsutsumi always worked in the field as he moved his way up the police force. Behind his stern face lies a compassionate man, ever prepared to help his fellow officers. That same attentiveness to his work and colleagues, however, cost Tetsuo his marriage several years ago. Tetsuo has a penchant for candy and desserts, which he tries but fails to conceal from other officers at the risk of appearing soft. He delights in buying local sweets wherever he is sent to investigate a case, and often volunteers to be dispatched to distant locations to acquire them while he was with the Paranormal Affairs Bureau. He is also surprisingly knowledgeable about current trends, a trait he puts down to investigation-related research, but which is actually spurred by his wish to have something to discuss with his daughter. This man seems so sweet. He likes candy, and he wants to be better for his daughter. He likes dessert. He's cute. He's a softie. Okay, Jun Eryo. You know what I also noticed too? Every single one of these people do not have an age. It's interesting. I don't know if that's something that I had to note down, but they don't have anything of like an age at all. We'll see if that plays into anything. The fresh-faced police detective that Shogo Okie met at Midoricho Park. Jun is a young detective with the Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department, 1st Investigative Division with the rank of sergeant. Jun encountered a curse echo while investigating the mysterious death of his colleague Hajime Yoshimi in the former Yasuda Gardens with Tetsuo Tsutsumi. When Tetsuo explained to him that the supernatural is real, he accepted this fact without a moment's hesitation and vowed to help his partner to solve the case. Born to a relatively well-off household. You know, you can tell because he has like a Burberry tie. Jun developed a healthy sense of self-esteem and an optimistic outlook on life, although watching action movies and detective series as a child instilled in him a desire to help those in need. It was the sight of Tetsuo Tsutsumi, who was in charge of investigating a case Jun was involved in as a student, that truly inspired him to become a police officer. While Jun still maintains a strong respect for Tetsuo, he also gets much enjoyment out of making casual cracks to get a rise out of the veteran officer. As an adult, Jun continues to hold on to that faint hope that the world is as he pictured it in his youth, a thrilling place in which superhuman heroes do battle against secret evil organizations. He attended the police academy with Richter Kai, who is now a private investigator. The two initially became friendly when Jun found Richter holed up alone in the reference room scouring over old crime data and invited him to go bowling, a popular pastime during this era. I forgot he knew Richter. Alright, let's continue talking to him. So, do you know? Do you know? Have it?
Have what?
Spirit sense, of course. Are you what they call spiritually gifted?
Nope. I've never felt anything at all. Even if I did, I'd be a lightweight at best. One beer and I'm down for the count.
Ooh. Huh. Is that how people in the field quantify someone's spirit sense? Like how much liquor they can handle?
Nope. That's just me. Thought it'd help get the point across.
Oh. Huh.
Sorry. Seems like I keep disappointing you.
No, it's not your fault, boss.
At the risk of disappointing you yet again, I'll tell you one more thing. Spirit sense is usually something you're born with. It's tough to develop it later on.
What? So there's no hope for me? No, say it isn't so.
Of course you were interested. Well, you never know. You may have some hidden potential. I know there's a high schooler who's got so much spirit sense that she works on the front lines. I say work, but she wasn't paid because it was supposedly part of her training.
Yikes, that seems like it'd be in violation of Article 69 of the Labor Standards Act.
Wow, you really know the law. No comment.
And the occult field has workers' rights issues, huh? So, what do we do now? We got this rite of resurrection and the curse echoes of the 7 mysteries of Hanzhou.
The curses being spread out around the city is a bit of an emergency.
Is that bad?
I'll put it this way. It's like handing out guns all over town.
Jeez, that's real bad.
It is. We need to find the source and put a stop to it before something terrible happens. Usually that'd be a job for paranormal affairs, but I talked to them on our way here. The main team is tied up until tomorrow morning. So, they told me to deal with it myself. Said it'd be fine since I have some experience.
Huh? What? And that overtime you mentioned means...
Yup. You're gonna help me, partner.
Alright, let's do this.
You seem a bit too eager to dive into all this. You really have no reservations working a case you know nothing about?
You said this was an emergency. I didn't think we had a choice. I'm just trying to be logical about this, boss.
You really are something. It might actually be nice having you around.
Why, thank you. Am I just gonna keep talking to him? So what exactly do we do?
If these curses are connected to the 7 mysteries, then the people who have the others should all be here in town.
Right, if there's 7 of them, that means there are 6 more out there.
And we have to stop them all before they kill anyone with their curses. If we can, we should find and collect all the curse stones.
But, boss, what you said earlier, killing a curse bearer gets you closer to completing the rite of resurrection. Won't your life be in danger if they find out you're a curse bearer?
Pretty much.
Can't let that happen. Should you even be out here right now?
Hiding would be a waste of time. The mystery of the one-sided reed is associated with Ryogoku Bridge. I was hoping we'd be quick enough to run into the one-sided reed's curse bearer. No such luck, it seems. Well, if nothing else, maybe word will spread that the cops are on the lookout and people will behave.
That's putting a lot of trust in whoever these people are.
But it's possible that other curse bearers with the same idea will come here. Talk to anyone you see who seems suspicious.
That means someone who may have the power of a curse. Understood. In that case... Oh, there's someone there. Why don't I ask that guy who's been watching us this whole time?
Well, what do you know? There is someone there. Oh, good luck.